Welcome everybody, welcome to 10 Minute Reviews. Jason here bringing you today's video. As always guys, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Don't forget to check the links down below for links to today's book and anything else that might be applicable. I could use the traffic through the Amazon link, so I definitely appreciate it. The contest is obviously over. It was over almost a month ago. I'm sending out the emails right now to the winners. I do have more signed books, so I will be doing more contests coming up. And thank you very much to our patrons. I'll be sending out those prize winners as well. And otherwise, let's get into today's video. So today, we're not going to be talking about any particular books or authors this time around. I'm kind of going back into that little theme that I do every so often, where I just recently did some little compilation ones on fantasy authors and thriller and mystery. Definitely going to be doing sci-fi. That could be even just right off the top of my head, could end up being a couple different videos. But today I just want to talk about some of my favorite fantasy authors. Some of my favorite fantasy authors, and some of them might be forgotten authors, either because they have passed away, because they were more prolific in the 80s and 90s, or even further back to the 50s, 60s, and 70s. But they were amazing, amazing, amazing authors. Some of them still do write, but most of them not so much. So, and this is in no particular order. This is by no means a massive list. I mean, just off the last year, I could start listing off the last couple of years, David Dalglish, stuff like that. But David Gemmell, his passing to me was a tragedy, because the way David Gemmell could write his dialogue was just utterly amazing and side-splittingly funny at the same time. His characters were awesome. His dialogue was just, you might find yourself literally laughing out loud while reading one of his books. I know a lot of people nowadays listen to books instead of reading them, but same thing. You might find yourself just busting out laughing. David Gemmell was awesome in how he wrote, and I've devoured everything he has written. Loved all the stuff. His passing is a real tragedy. Dave Duncan. Dave Duncan had some very long series. The King's Blades. Just absolutely fantastic. And even within those, there might be little trilogies going on following particular King's Blade. And he kind of built this whole world, and then even built sort of this, not only did he build this whole world around this kingdom in the King's Blades, but he even kind of built an alternate one dealing with changing the past and an assassination of a king, and then a non-assassination of a king, and there's entire books that occur at different timelines. It's pretty cool, pretty interesting. But the King's Blades concept is really cool and led to a lot of really cool books, including ones that you really wouldn't expect, spy book version of it and stuff like that. A lot of fun. Next one is an absolute legend within the fantasy world, or the fantasy genre. Michael Moorcock. Now, many of you guys that watch these are way too young for Michael Moorcock. He passed away long before a lot of you were even born. But he was a fantastic author. Fantastic author, and his Eternal Champion, Eternal Warrior, Eternal Champion, I think it was, overarching theme of his books. He wrote books across multiple timelines, multiple universes, multiple dimensions, and they were just fun. They were just fun, and they were awesome, and his characters were great. They were a little bit darker. Michael Moorcock tended to write some darker, bleak, and sometimes kind of odd stuff, but it was great. It was great. There's a reason that he's sort of a legend within the genre. Next up, two definite legends within the genre, and I put them together because they sort of made their initial mark together. Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman. Now, they have their own stuff they have written independently since, plus they've also collaborated since as well. But these two are legends for one reason and one reason only, really. Dragons of Autumn Twilight, Dragons of Winter Night, Dragons of Spring Dawning. The introduction of Tanis and Raslin and Carmen and Tasselhoff and Sturm and Kitiara, and the story and the War of the Lance and what they built with that, built with the War of the Lance and built with the Dragonlance genre, and how that blew up into this whole massive world. I mean, we had more books about wrestling. We had future books after what happened with the Heroes of the Lance. We had past books. We had expanded books. We had different characters in an expanded world. I mean, Dragonlance is its own thing within and still alive within Dungeons and Dragons, with its own books, published books and stuff like that, and the world itself still alive only because of Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. Those 3 books, if those 3 books were written by anybody else, Dragonlance probably would have faded out by the mid-'80s, mid to late 80s, early 90s. Those books put it on the map, and then it just exploded from there to absolute legends. Anne McCaffrey. If you're not familiar with Anne McCaffrey, just go check out The Dragon Riders of Pern. She's an awesome author. Many of you have heard of my next one, Piers Anthony. Pretty well known. Wrote a bunch of different things. Typically he generally just had a couple of series that he mostly wrote, and then he had things that were separate, kind of independent sort of stuff. But Piers Anthony, he was a fantastic fantasy author, as is or was Mickey Zucker-Reichert. Amazing. And the Renshai series, I love the Renshai series. That was great. If you have not read the Renshai series, you should go back and read the damn series. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Michael Stackpole's another one. Now, the majority of his books have been in other universes, writing Robotech books or what else? Star Wars books. He might have even written a Star Trek book, I'm not sure. But he typically writes in other people's universes. But when he does create his own universe, he has written some utterly amazing fantasy trilogies. Amazing stuff. Some of my favorite books of all time were written by Michael Stackpole. So you guys go check it out. Thank you everybody for watching. Trust me, this is by no means a comprehensive list, and we will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye now.